Thank you.
Great. All yours.
All right, thank you. Thank you. I've got a mic on. Oh, good, it's working. So thank you. I'm so happy to be here with all of you and so grateful for the opportunity to address you and to make an important announcement today here at MICHauto. And I first want to start by thanking Brian Selesky, the CEO of Argo AI, Sandy Brua, the CEO and president of the Detroit Regional Chamber, Congresswoman Dingell, the LEO director, Jeff Donofrio, who is with me, and to all of you who are such an important part of automotive mobility and technology and research and development and manufacturing here in the state of Michigan. We have made a lot of progress over the past few years, and particularly in this past year. Since I was sworn in, we've announced almost 11,000 new auto jobs, more than any other state in the nation we've announced here in Michigan. FCA was the first, where we announced the first new assembly plant in Detroit in more than 30 years, developing the ability to build fully battery electric models in the future. And in doing so, FCA is creating over 6,000 jobs and investing $4.5 billion into our state. Then we had an announcement with Ford Motor Company. Ford announced plans to invest $1.4 billion to expand its operations and establish new vehicle modification center in Southeast Michigan, creating 3,000 well-paying and skilled trades jobs as a result of it, and building the fully electric F-150 here in Michigan. We're thrilled about this and their new Corktown expansion, the campus and the long vacant central station being put to use, redesigned, and cutting edge design and mobility solutions that are going to be coming out of that facility that absolutely are going to shape the future of transportation. And most recently, General Motors announced its plans to invest $2.2 billion in the Detroit Hamtramck assembly plant, a plant that was on the closure list over a year ago and now is going to have the most highly technologically advanced plant that they have on the planet. That is something that, when fully operational, will have 2,200 manufacturing jobs. These are exciting investments that are happening here in Michigan, happening because of the incredible assets that we have. And so I'm here today acknowledging these phenomenal investments and the work that is happening in the mobility space to announce that we are going to continue moving forward and keep our foot on the gas. I am directing the Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity to create the Michigan Office of Future Mobility and designate a Chief Mobility Officer to head up this effort. This office will help us ensure that Michigan remains the go-to state to build, test, and deploy the cars of the future. The office will also help us continue to build public and private partnerships that drive mobility solutions and ensure that we compete globally. I'll also be signing an executive order to create the Michigan Council on Future Mobility and Electrification, which will be housed at LEO, the Department of Labor and Economic Opportunity, because keeping a talented workforce, keeping these issues at the absolute forefront, and placing a greater emphasis on the importance of electrification and electric vehicle infrastructure in the overall state strategy around mobility. This council will be responsible for providing recommendations for the changes in state policy to ensure that Michigan continues to be the world leader in future mobility, including autonomous and connected vehicle technology, electric powertrain technology, and infrastructure and diverse mobility like transit. These executive orders that I'm going to sign today will help us build on the success that we've seen in the automotive and mobility sectors this past year and in the years leading up to right now. Last spring at the Mackinac Policy Conference, we announced the International Auto Show 2020 Michigan Mobility Challenge. Now, through this challenge, we called on industry innovators to propose first-of-its-kind technology deployments during the 2020 Auto Show this summer. Deployments that will demonstrate how automotive and connective vehicle technology can transform our lives. This was a partnership between the Department of Transportation, LEO, and a number of other state organizations. The 7 providers who were selected through this challenge will offer demonstrations during the Detroit Auto Show from Detroit Metro to and throughout downtown Detroit. As the world focuses on this city, we'll be putting the future of automotive technology on display in the heart of the city, in the summer when you can take it in and actually enjoy some of the incredible offerings that we have as this beautiful state. In Michigan, we believe that potential in technologies needs to be on display, and how this will improve access. The true value in these cutting-edge technologies is that improving access to reliable and affordable transportation for everyone. We're advancing both the technology and conversations around mobility, safety, and access to transportation. Right now in Michigan, we have over 50 testing or pilot deployments underway or in progress across the state, including Grand Rapids, the central part of the Upper Peninsula, Genesee County, and Ann Arbor, just to name a handful. But of course, in order to maintain our pole position in mobility, we must ensure that new cars we build are safe on our roads. You knew I was going to talk about roads if you've been paying attention. In my State of the State address, I announced my Rebuilding Michigan plan, which includes 122 projects to fix our most highly traveled state roads and freeways. If anyone thinks I am playing games, they haven't been paying attention. I'm done waiting for a solution. It is time for us to start moving dirt this year, and that's precisely what Rebuilding Michigan does. This will help us keep drivers safe. Rebuilding Michigan will keep Michigan drivers safe from accidents on our roads or from bridges that are falling apart. And we had a sad story not long ago about a chunk of concrete that came out of a bridge and went through a windshield. That bridge is on this bonding plan, and it will get fixed. But this plan also saves our state money in the long run, because when we lock in low rates and start bending the curve on deterioration of this incredible asset that we all rely on, it saves us money, and it saves drivers money because they won't have to keep fixing their cars. It gives us the ability to start moving dirt this year, and that means we're going to see a dramatic improvement and be able to support connected, autonomous vehicles of the future. And it doesn't rely on an increase at the pump. So we can get started now, and we can make a meaningful difference and support the cutting-edge technologies that are so important to the future of our state and our economy. Now, another way that we support this industry and our pole position in the industry is to ensure that we are building a talented workforce that is prepared for changes in this industry. The budget that I've introduced is focused on that goal as well, to ensure that every hardworking Michigander has a real path into a skill that leads to a good job. The budget that I introduced includes $35 million for the bipartisan Michigan Reconnect, which is a program to provide tuition-free pathways for adults looking to upskill, to keep their skills sharp as their job evolves or move into a higher paying job. The Reconnect will help us close our skills gap here in Michigan and move our state closer to achieving the 60% goal post-secondary education attainment by 2030 that I announced last year in the State of the State. And it helps us promote Michigan as the home of opportunity for businesses like those in the mobility sector. We know this has been our great strength in our history and what built the middle class. This has got to be a priority for us as a state, because when we achieve this goal, every one of us benefits. These are just a few of the critical steps that we have taken, and we are continuing the work today, right here. I'm excited to work with my partners in the Office of Future Mobility and the Michigan Council on Future Mobility and Electrification to build on this progress, as well as the Chamber and all of the members. In the coming months, you're going to see unprecedented collaboration amongst just the departments and state government, but in addition to our partners in the private sector. Work that's being done by Planet M, the mobility initiative of the MEDC, or the ITS mobility experts at MDOT, and the teams at EAGLE tackling EV infrastructure issues. We are all in this together, and we are in it to win it. I thank you for the work that you are doing, and I welcome your partnership every step along the way. And with that, I am going to walk over to this Argo vehicle and sign these 2 executive orders creating this right now. So thank you so much. All right. Thanks, Glenn.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated.
Great. Ooh. We're gonna take this, okay, hold this, take this with us. Should I have it or not in hand? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
absolutely. Okay.
All right, thank you. Thanks.
Thanks, Governor.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay.
Governor Whitmer.